Hi, everybody. It's that time again. My name is Rachel Blatt, and I'm the CEO of Royalty Logistics, and this is Biz Leaders Live. Today, I have a very special guest, and I'm very excited. Max Klemm is with us today. He has been buying and selling cars longer than I've been alive. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and I can't wait to share his beautiful soul with you guys. Without further ado, this is Biz Leaders Live. All right, guys, let me bring Max Klemm into the house. Here we go, guys. And if you have questions, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. This guy's wealth of knowledge. And if you could participate with any car buying questions, getting through tough times, we'd love to hear from you. Hey, Max, how are you?
Hello, Rachel. Good to see you.
It's so good to see you. And thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Can you tell
It's my pleasure.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself so our audience can know more?
Sure. I'm Max Klemm. I live in Springfield, Illinois with my wife, Cheryl. We've been married for over 51 years. I'm blessed with 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren and 2 great son-in-laws. I've been held every position nearly that you can hold within a car dealership, but the one I have beloved and did the best with was as a buyer. I've been buying cars at the auction since 1975, and I was fortunate to come into this business with an agency outside of Peoria, Illinois, with John Pierce. And John is, I think, 85 and still very active within the automotive industry. And John and his general manager, Gary Upstring, trained me. And Gary still has 6 agencies in the Peoria Pekin area. And they all do well, and they all do very well in used cars. I'm blessed to work for some great dealers over the years that have all taught me things. And although I'm not perfect, I've done a darn good job in buying cars. And I've had great success at it, and I've helped many dealers increase their used car volume and used car sales and used car gross, and maintain their sales staffs. And it's just been for nearly 50 years, I've never went to work. Every day that I go in, it's not work. It's fun. Everybody asks me, why don't you retire? So why would I retire? I love what I do and I get paid well. I'm working with my son-in-law in Springfield, Illinois at Chum and Laketown Automotive. It's a small lot. We have about 60 cars, and we do very well. We buy and sell a lot of cars at retail, and we also wholesale cars. It's been a pleasure to work with him. We're in business for 31 years, and they've been there 41. Unfortunately, a few years back, his father passed away.
Oh, yeah.
But that's enough about me, Rachel. What else do we need to cover here today?
Well, first of all, that's a great story. Hi, Randy. Randy Hayes is watching. He's a wholesale buyer as well. What I really wanted to know was like your journey getting into the business. Like, I know you said this is like, it's not really work, it's fun, but like, how did you find yourself in the car business?
Well, I was fortunate that my father was a very good car salesman. Unfortunately, passed away when I was 13. But I remember asking him, Dad, we lived in a small town, 10,000 people. And I said, Dad, how come we have more than everybody else in the neighborhood? And he said, well, he says, we live in a nice neighborhood and these are all nice people, but they all just work for a living. And he says, I'm paid on commission. They're paid by the hour. And he says, I work more hours, but we make more money. That allows us to do better. Well, I went on and graduated from college, and I went to work for Burroughs Corporation in 1970. And at the time, they were IBM's #1 competitor. Right. Now, we didn't have much share of the market, but they were #1, but we were a strong #2. And after my second full year in the business, I went to my boss and I said, hey, I need more territory. I said, everybody that I've sold everybody the maximum amount of equipment they can have, and the people that I haven't sold are going to stay with IBM, so I need more territory. And he said, well, unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Right.
I said, well, unfortunately, I'm not sticking around. I'm not going to work 6 days a week and have limited income. And I said, I can quit today, or I can quit tomorrow, or I can quit a month from now. But I said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to get a job in the car business. So that's what I did. I went into the automotive business. And it's a funny story. I had actually accepted a job with Van Tile, which many people will know that name. They were out of Kansas City. And I accepted a job with them as a management trainee. Yeah. And I was at summer camp. I was in the National Guard. I went to summer camp, and I had a phone call on a Friday afternoon. I had a phone call. I was out in the field, and this guy came in and he says, hey, you got a phone call you got to take back inside. And I thought, well, there's something wrong at home. So I go in and I pick the phone up, and it's John Bierce, and he says, hey, he says, I made a mistake. I should have hired you. And I said, well, you did, because I've got another job. I said, I'm going to work for Van Tile Monday. And he says, when do you get home? And I said, I get home Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. He said, I'll be there. Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, he was there. By 6 o'clock Sunday night, I had agreed to go to work for him. I had to go tell Van Tiles I was not going to do it. Yeah. And, you know, many times people said, well, do you think you'd been better off with Van Tile? And they said, no. I'm too independent of a thinker to work for a big group. Yeah. And I wouldn't have been a fit. But but that's how I got in the car business. And I started July 5th, 1972, and I've never worked a day. Just had fun.
I love that. So how do you find, I mean, a lot of people are out there grinding in the car business. I mean, most people love it, but it is a grind. So what do you say out there to, like, how do you keep your motivation? How did you find the fun in the car business? Like, how did you make it, like, not work?
Well, I think I was very fortunate to be brought up by a very good salesman who trained me at an early age to sell. I mean, I was selling magazines and stuff door to door when I was young, 9, 10 years old, carried newspapers. And I think that, you know, my dad had just kind of directed me into the sales field. He made me read two newspapers a day, and then he would test me the next day on what I read the day before. So I became a vicarious reader. I just I read a lot of positive motivation things. If you talk to 1,000 of my friends, 900 of them to 950 of them would tell you I'm the most positive guy you know. I had a bad accident in December, but prior to that, I posted a positive motivation message every day that I broadcast out to many friends. And I'm going to get back into that habit here. I've just been in a recuperation stage from an accident, but I will be back at posting that. And I just looked at, you know, is a glass half full or half empty? And you know, when I don't get what I want, I go, well, what's next? Who's next? What's the next challenge? I don't let the defeats get to me. You know, Major League Baseball players that hit 300 get paid millions of dollars a year. Well, we don't quite make that money, but you know, I can close my own customers and go in and help other sales and close people at much better than 300, better than 30% ratio. So I guess that's why it was never work, and I kept my motivation knowing that when I lost a sale, I was that much closer to getting the next one. And I've read a lot of positive things. I keep myself, I'm a vicarious reader. Again, my father trained me that. I read a lot of Tony Robbins. I read all kinds of positive motivation things throughout the day. Right. And I hang around positive people. I don't allow negative people to be in my inner circle. And I think your inner circle is important. And, you know, I think everybody out there needs to take a look at your inner circle. You know, you've got 5 or 6 friends that influence your life. And if some of them are not positive, it's time to not get rid of them as friends, but it's time to replace them as your inner circle.
I think that's so important. And by the way, Max, that's why I wanted to have you on the show today. You are one of the most positive people that we've ever met. You're always on everybody's social media in this car business. I mean, we share so many groups together. We're on we have the Alpha Dog, and there's a whole bunch of there's wholesale car groups and real success in the car biz. I mean, you are everywhere in this business, and you are constantly shining a positive light on everybody that's trying to come up in this business. And I think that's so important. What are some of the things that, like, how do you kind of go about, like, sort of like marketing yourself, or are you doing anything to sort of put yourself out there besides social media?
Yes, I had a personal social media campaign that was just starting to roll. Just got back into the retail sales in April of last year. I went to work, was buying used cars for him, and then I was retailing cars, and I just got started on that, but I had to discontinue it because I'm off on rehabilitation. But as soon as I get my body back to shape physically, I'll be back there. But I have a real strong campaign coming in social media, and a lot of that was brought on by Sean Hayes. I know Sean was one of your guests, I think, last week.
Yes, yes.
Sean's book, Build Your Brand, really helped me, and then Build a Brand has been very helpful in helping me. Cameron Moore at Build a Brand has been very, very helpful at helping me get my thing together. And I'm going to come back with that once I'm released by my doctors to go back to work. I will have a social media campaign that will bring me all the business we need. My son-in-law and I were talking this morning. He says, you know, we've got an action plan ready. It looks like they're going to open up Illinois sometime in mid-May or the end of May. And I said, I've got mine ready. I said, let's just try social media. And we had the other things that we've been using, we had discontinued once Illinois became a shutdown state, only opened by appointment. And we found out that a majority of our leads were self-generated, one from repeat and referral customers after 41 years at the same location. And that's the people we're selling now. And we found out that those other vendors really weren't generating as much as we wanted. And that brought us to the conclusion, too, instead of looking at every expense we have every 4 to 6 months, we're going to look at them every 60 days so that we can make sure we're getting an ROI.
I really think that's important in times like these right now, where everybody's watching their expenses, and you have to get creative about generating your own leads. I met you in Mannheim, Nashville for the very first time. You were buying cars. For all those, John Hayes says, "What's up? What's up, Sean? Thanks for being on." So for all those guys standing out there in the lane, I know there's internet versus in lane. What do you say to the guys buying online right now? What to look for, how to buy? Let's talk about some of your car buying experience. I know a lot of my guys out there watching buy a lot of cars.
Well, you know, I'm mostly an in-lane guy, but that's going to change quite a bit and drastically here when I get back to work. But I think the whole thing is whether you're in-lane guy or you're buying online, the whole thing is preparation. You have to prepare. You have to know what is on the lot that you're buying for. What does the manager like and need? What do the salesmen like and need?
Right.
You have to look at previous history. In previous history, yeah, you know, we always sell F-150s, we always sell Silverados, we always sell Rams.
Right.
But, you know, what's sold the last 90 days? I use a rolling 90-day look.
Right.
When weekly, I look back the last 90 days. What's happened the last 90 days? What's hot, what's not? What used to be hot that's not hot anymore.
Right.
And you know, I have a good when I was a buyer for multiple dealers, I had a great relationship with every used car manager and the key salesman. Every salesman was important, but you had salesmen that were really good at used, and they could help you. And so I say that, you know, preparation is the key to success when you're a buyer. and whether that's online or in lane.
Yeah.
And you know, at this point, as we all know in the used car industry, condition reports are under scrutiny, they're under fire.
Yeah.
I do think that I think that all major auction companies and the independents, and some of those are major in size, are doing their best to enhance the CR and to make it better. It's and that's why I prefer in lane.
Yeah.
If I don't have to battle with them on a arbitration. If I made a mistake in lane, I made it. If I missed it, I missed it. But on a CR, sometimes things aren't always as they don't always to you as they appear, and that's just due to growth and people learning. But I think it's all in preparation.
I think as more and more people go online, I don't think that they can get rid of people buying in lanes completely at all. I still think that there's going to be in lane buyers. I think what's going to happen is more people are going to be appreciative of being in lane after this crisis is over, because they're going to sort of, you kind of take things for granted when you don't have them. You're like, oh, wait, I can't do that right now. And so, and as soon as you kind of get that privilege back, what are some of the things that you look for when you're in lane buying? What are some of tell me about your routine a little bit.
Well, I'm always the first one to the auction, the last one to leave. Right. And any auction I go to will verify that. That's because I go to research the car normally the day before and use the CR. And I'm seeing if the car matches the CR and the CR matches the car. Yeah. I'm also looking for those things that the CR missed, whether it's positive or negative. So that helps me establish my maximum purchase price.
Right.
I'm looking to see in lane. It's much easier, in my opinion, to see who's really bidding and who's not. Right. As we all know, auctioneers are paid to sell cars, and you know, a lot of times you're bidding against the soda machine or the trash can. Right. And online, that's very hard to tell. In lane, it was pretty visible. And once you establish yourself in lane, most auctioneers won't jack you too bad. And if they do, sometimes I'll just say, hey, start over. Right. That's not going to work today. And also, you know, you have to be careful in lane because a lot of your competitors that are lazy will be watching you. So you have to be careful in how you're bidding. That they don't know that you're on the car. But in lane, I also can get much more excited about a car than I can on a screen, or I can get this car really isn't not the line. It's out of the line with the other cars in line. Not as nice as I thought it was. Right.
Well, that's good. Well, there's many things I want to know, and I don't know if Max has got, we're going to wait for his connection to come back. There's so many things. If you guys have questions, please type them in the comments and I will ask them for you. Like I said, Max has a wealth of knowledge and we really want to probe him, and he's been so supportive to everybody in this business. I'd like to see if we can get the same support for him. So just stand by and we will come back. Bill, thank you so much for being a part of this, and Sean, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. I know everybody is out there trying to get ready to come back to work, and these are interesting times for sure. I don't know if we lost our friend Max, but I will tell you this. He is somebody who really knows his stuff, and he's all over social media. If he's not your friend already, become his friend. He's been so supportive of me and my business. I met him 3 years ago. I probably talked to this man probably like every couple of months. He is so sweet. He is so genuine. And he is just one of those great people. Max, let's continue because I know we lost you for a second.
Okay.
And I was just going on, I was gushing on you, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
One of the things that I wanted the people to know is just like, really, you're buying cars, you're selling cars, you've been every single position in the dealership. What would you say is your absolute favorite?
It's definitely buying cars.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Buying cars, Rachel. That's a high. It's like getting up to bat in the World Series. Every car is like in the 19th of the World Series, the seventh game, and it's up to you to get that base hit so you can score that guy on third base. and that carries forward because that makes the manager stronger, it makes the sales department stronger, and it makes the dealership stronger. So you know that car that they need, that you're helping enhance their bottom line and it's the future of many people. And it's the thrill of victory of getting that car and knowing that they're going to make money with it.
Right.
And are all winners? No, but I'll guarantee you that there are many people that are my level or better than me that 95% of the time we buy winners and they become winners. And I've worked for, I was fortunate one time to work for two brothers that had two separate corporations that were two dealerships. And that was the biggest thrill forever. I had Cheryl with me every week. We'd leave home on Monday morning and get home on Friday night. And she would do the paperwork and the cars shipped and getting the cars found. And after we bought them, we left the auction. And that was a great time. Things have changed, and it was a lot of responsibility. I need to meet with at least half of those managers, and then next week so I was only in there twice a month, as opposed to where I could be in there 4 times a month. But 22 locations in 2 different states was a challenge.
Right. And also too, it's the road warrior too, and you're with your wife, and I figure out what a great way to kind of stay close in your marriage. I know one of the things that is very hard in this business is it can be very grindy, and I think a lot of used car guys end up divorced. You've had a marriage that's lasted very long. What do you say to these guys out there that are sort of, they're focused on their work, they've got families? How do you have that work-life balance?
Well, I didn't. I had a great wife, and I had a wife who was dedicated to the children and dedicated to me, and that's what kept us rolling in the same direction all the time. And unfortunately, in 1991, I had a serious financial setback, and I had it came down to I could have moved out of the state and made a lot more money, or I could have stayed in Illinois and made a little less. And we elected to stay in Illinois and stay close to her family and my family.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to remember that you've got a responsibility to your children, to your wife, and she just did a great job of keeping it together while I was on the road. I turned the checkbook over to her in 1992. You're in charge.
Right there.
You're always plenty of money.
That's the secret. That is honestly, Max, I think that is just such the secret to marriage right there, guys, is, bring your wife into the mix and give her the checkbook. All right. And as long as you guys are on the same page, I know it's going to work out for you. Like I said, it's been a great show. I'm going to try to check in with Max, and hopefully we can end this right. We'll finally do an end of the show quote. But if you've been watching today, I super appreciate you guys, and hopefully you will watch this again. And I apologize for the audio. I know it was a little sketchy there, but if you could really listen hard, there were some gems in there. There were some absolute gems that Max had, just bringing your wife along. And here he is back again. I'm just recapping some of our conversation, Max, because I know we lost you there for a second. But just some of the things that, the first in, first out, that is a great tip. The exhilaration of the car buying experience, but also bringing your wife along into that so she could participate in that. I think there's a lot of that's a really good thing, and especially in this business where you can sort of get caught up in it all. And I know that I've had my experience with that. There's just so many great things that you've said today. We're going to wrap it up, but what do you want to say to everybody out there that's struggling, that's trying to get through this time? What's your best advice right now?
Well, I started in 1972, and the gas crisis, right after that, the oil crisis in 74, and I've been through a lot of ups and downs, and we've came out of every one of the downs much better than we were. This one might take longer. Just go there and keep.
Well, that's a bummer, guys, because I felt like that was going to be good. So listen, a lot of ups and downs. And then he said, just hang in there and you're going to come out stronger. It may take a little more time than normal, but it's going to happen for you. I appreciate you being on Car Biz Leaders Live today. You guys have been awesome. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you, Max, for being on my show today. I'm so grateful to have you. And I'm sorry your internet is being poopy pants, but I absolutely love you. And I'm going to call you after the show and I'm going to send you brownies. And I just think you're the most amazing person on this planet. And thank you so much for your time today. Honestly, I'm so grateful. You're the man. Hey, guys, please support Max Klemm. He's been an amazing support to me. I know he's been one for you. And this is his very first show. So let's give him a round of applause. And if you are interested in being on Car Biz Leaders Live, please message me in the comments and I will see if we can set you up on the next one. You guys have a great day. Love you guys. Thanks again, Max. We'll talk soon, and we'll see you later. Adios, amigos.